Review That Review.
As your trusty review queens, we bring in reviews from the internet that we feel need to be inspected.
We read you a review, we break it down, and rate the impact of that review on a scale from 0 to 5 crowns. It's a really regal process that we call
Assess That Kvetch.
And Chelsey, I'm dying to know, what have you got for us today?
Well, not to get all cheesy on you, Trey, but let's go back. I love cheese too. All right, we're going to head on over to good old Amazon. And this is going to be a 2-star review for the brand is For the Gourmet Sharp Provolone Picante Cheese Whole Wheel, approximately 11 pounds. Any guesses on price?
Okay, an 11-pound wheel of
provolone
cheese. I don't know that provolone is expensive. Provolone makes me think of Subway. But 11 pounds and then shipping, although people ship computers and cars. I don't know. I'm going to say an 11-pound wheel. It's probably like $68.
$157.61.
Wow. The picante is pricey.
Because must be the picante. All right, so this review is written by Russell S. 2-star review. Subject is competition disaster, in parentheses, oval. Okay, you're about to find out. Here we go.
Oh, no.
I am still recovering from this weekend when I was the laughingstock of the entire Mariposa County cheese rolling Rollapalooza. I purchased this cheese wheel as a last-minute replacement for my trusty 75 pounds pecorino wheel, which got defaced by local youths. Still, I was looking forward to chasing a lighter wheel down the hill. This would give me more dynamic control over the direction of the roll. On the morning of the competition, imagine my distress when, dressed proudly in my regional colors and nearly new cleats, I unwrapped the package to what turns out to be an oval-shaped cheese. This is not a wheel. Repeat, not a wheel. It is oval. Needless to say, you can imagine the rest, which was broadcast live on local TV and one internet channel. Note, the comments below the video are disgusting and defamatory. So why the 2 stars? As I bundled downhill behind the bouncing oval, arch rivals roaring past in mirth, some chunks dislodged, and the cheese itself was creamy and ripe. This is not a competition cheese. Avoid! If anyone wants it, I abandoned it in rage at the bottom of Greeley Hill, Mariposa County on Sunday afternoon from the 49 North, take the 132 East. It should still be okay.
Okay. So it took me 0.8 seconds after the subject to realize, is this going to be like a rolling cheese competition? Which I don't even know if I've ever even seen that existed in the world, but somehow inside of my head, I thought, do people roll cheese around?
Absolutely. I think I did talk about a documentary that I saw a while ago about the cheese rollers.
Tell me, I don't know.
This is just a sport that people do in various areas of the world where they roll cheese down a hill. I don't really get it.
Is sport the right word?
Are we the right people to be dissecting whether or not something is sport, Trey? I don't know.
I guess that makes me feel
you have to run. You have to run. You have to have.
I noted that.
Balance.
That's how stupid people are like, oh, cheerleading isn't a sport.
Right.
Have you watched Cheer? Have you watched the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders, American Sweethearts documentary? Because they are. Okay? Those are athletes.
Those are athletes.
Let me not be that. No, I wrote like chasing the wheel. Now, you've watched a documentary. You're very bon vivant when it comes to cheese sports. Do you push it with a stick, or do you have to be like on that cheese the whole time it's going?
If my recollection serves, you're on the cheese the whole time. You're rolling it. And I don't think you can you don't want to lose contact with the cheese.
Because I feel like, couldn't it like wobble over?
Certainly if it was an oval.
You know, I don't know why this keeps coming to my mind, but I remember when we moved to the Upper West Side, I really wanted an oval dining table. Something called an oval dining table is so much more elegant than a circle or a rectangle. The problem is when you are on those corners, you don't get the same. You don't get the same table setting. It's real fucked up.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's a real disadvantage. And also, it doesn't roll an oval. A circular, like a wheel, right, rolls.
We all know this.
We all know this.
Everyone has an.
Everybody knows.
Every child gets an experience with a wheel, whether it's a little car, a bicycle.
Imagine trying to roll an oval, like rolling an egg. An egg
couldn't
shaped.
Do it.
Couldn't do it.
I mean, I guess you could roll it.
If it was an 11-pound egg.
But the distinction here is that wheels or ovals of cheese are like, they're 3-dimensional, but they're like, it's not uniform. An egg is like, I want to say it's 3-dimensional. That I feel like you could roll it on the long side.
True. Good point.
But the dimensions of a wheel, in quotes, of cheese is going to be such that one side is going to be flat. Because it's not a circle. What is happening? It's not a sphere. It's not a sphere.
It's not a sphere.
Okay. We get it. We get it. There is a distinction between wheel and oval, but I've never heard an oval of cheese.
I don't think I've ever heard of an oval of cheese.
So
a barrel, a bucket, a bucket of cheese. Sure, why not?
A barrel of laughs.
Barrel of laughs.
Yeah, I wonder if this
cheese
is
round. Shaved cheese.
Oh my God, you know those Baby Bells?
Yes.
With the little wax. Oh, I love that.
I mean, I like them too, but is that cheese? What is that?
You know, do you think this is false advertising?
For the Mariposa cheese festival?
For the gourmet
Do you
company?
think that nowhere in the subject, in the title, in the description, does it say competition worthy?
Fair. But my question is it false advertising to call it a wheel if it's actually an oval?
Right, because it does say whole wheel.
Also,
maybe.
What good would it be in an oval? Because don't you have to cut it? But I guess if you're buying the whole shebang, it doesn't matter what shape it is. Because I'm just thinking, like, anytime you buy cheese for like a dinner party, it's like little pizza shapes. But
I mean, I would imagine you're buying this if you like have a restaurant where you're making like, I don't know, like Philly cheesesteaks. You need a lot of provolone.
That's my first thing. Hold on, we got to back up. Who's buying this much cheese from Amazon? Is it Amazon like fresh, or is this just Amazon that's been sitting in some factory?
This is straight up ducking Amazon.
But I guess that cheese is mold. Like aged cheese, but not provolone. Provolone seems so fake to me. I don't know cheese. I don't know why I'm trying to get into this conversation.
Cheese.
I want to talk here about the value.
Okay.
I think your point here, there's a big distinction because this is not purchased for consumption. And I would imagine the majority of cheese that's purchased is for consumption, not competitive sporting.
Do you think they eat it after the sport? Like if it's covered in wax?
I got to throw Russell under the bus once again here because they really lost me at the end. Now, I don't know how long shipping took because they didn't go into that, but you didn't open this until the day of the competition. That's on you, boo. That's on you. Because I would have opened it. I would have like investigated. I would have practiced a little. I would have looked at the rolling ability.
True.
And
I
is
mean,
there
the
no
picture
cheesery?
definitely doesn't look like a whole barrel. Like the picture looks like a half oval. Like I don't know. I can't describe it, but it doesn't look like a wheel. It does say wheel.
I know, but regardless, why didn't you open it when it arrived to make sure it wasn't broken or something?
I don't know. I feel like most of the cheese in the cheese ball competition have like that hard wax over it. You're not just rolling raw cheese.
Yeah, but wouldn't the wax be in the shape of the oval? You would know instantly.
You're right. Okay, so I think that this comes back to the truthful shadiness of it all. Now, I was like going back and forth on whether or not I think this is a real review or not, because I believe them when they talked about the like TV and the like
one
the
internet
live
channel.
One internet channel, like live broadcasting. I was like, okay, maybe this is real. But then when they like got to the point of like some of it fell off and I was tasting it, and if you want it, it's like take the 49 North to 132 East. Like, I don't know. This feels like a planted review.
That lost me a little bit too, because don't you know that any function, and I would certainly guarantee that sponsored cheese rolling competition, there's going to be protocol that you can't be littering. Otherwise, you won't be allowed back in the Mariposa thing. Like, they'll be like, no, your contestants leave cheese everywhere.
The Mariposa County cheese rolling Rallapalooza.
They don't want to feed the Mariposa raccoons.
No. Clean up after yourself.
I don't know if it didn't seem fake to me, but now I feel very unsure. I love the description of proudly dressed. I don't think I've been proudly dressed a day in my life. Like,
yeah. I think they really want us to know or think that they take this very seriously, which I will attest from watching the documentary that people do take this very seriously.
But see, that I think undermines it once again to where I don't know that it's real, because if you took it that seriously, that you had almost new cleats, but you had a proudly dressed attire, you were ready to go. Why would you
not test out the wheel?
Right. And why are you like, if I'm playing football, God forbid, like I'm gonna have the football. Like, but then I don't know. Like, well, okay. But hold on. It keeps going back to like, but
it does say it was a last minute replacement for their trusty 75-pound Pecorino wheel, which got defaced by local youths.
But I don't know anything. But which then, see that? Like, what do you mean? How did it get defiled? How did that happen? Where was it? Was it in your house?
Was it
also,
in your
11-pound versus 75-pound. Also, we all know provolone is smooshier than Pecorino.
Yeah. So Pecorino's a nice taut, tired, hard cheese.
I don't know.
Something feels odd here.
And wait, but my point here is like your first distinction here is that consumption versus competition. Like, is this common use for this purchase of the cheese?
I don't think so.
Should we hold that against the vendor?
I don't think so. Because again, it does say wheel, which I think that's a good point, but it doesn't say competition wheel.
Correct.
I don't know if any of them really do. Okay.
But it also doesn't say oval. What about spelling grammar?
Spelling and grammar was good. We obviously used some capital letters when we felt like particularly emphatic.
I mean, it is unique information. I don't know how valuable it is, and I can't distinguish the truthfulness. It kind of feels like I can't tell if it's true or shady.
Right. I think it's funny.
Oh my God, very funny. And
I was entertained. I was entertained. Any thoughts on the
buying it? Well, if I was going to enter a rolling competition, I would have an impact.
I definitely would not be buying this after reading this review if I decided to join the Mariposa Rallapalooza. That's a mouthful. That's like that's worse than red leather, yellow leather.
I mean, in Russell's verbiage,
Rallapalooza.
In Russell's verbiage, it did bring me mirth.
Mm-hmm.
I think I can crown Russell.
I can crown Russell.
All right. So Chelsey and I each have our own set of 0 to 5 crown cards. In an effort to be fair and not influenced by one another, we will simultaneously reveal our rating.
The queens are tabulating. Total score.
Okay, I'm holding up 2 crowns. Trey's holding up 2.5 crowns. Trey, you go first by 2.5 crowns for Russell.
I don't know. I feel like, is it really unique? Yes. So get some points there. Entertaining? Yes. Humorous? Absolutely. Impact on either side of the scenario? Yes, there's impact. Because I can't tell if it's real or not. And I also have some personal questions about the integrity that Russell might have when it comes to his career of rolling cheese and actions I wouldn't have taken. I'm saying 2.5 because I don't know that if you're really entering these competitions, I would hope you would have, even as a last minute backup, you need to have something better than Amazon. Because we all know that if you just put all of your eggs in that basket, the dairy is going to be soured. I don't know what metaphor this is. 2.5, Russell. I'm sorry. I'm sorry you were made fun of in the comment section. It's never easy. But 2.5, because I would need to read other reviews if I was looking for an 11-pound wheel oval of provolone. Why did you do half a crown less at 2 crowns?
Mostly because I don't know if Russell is being truthful. I gave him the 2 crowns for humor.
Yeah.
And that it was sort of like a funny review to come across. Other than that, I can't really give them points because I don't think that they're convincing me to purchase or not to purchase. I think if I were purchasing, I personally would probably be purchasing for a different reason, like cooking. And
Go
so go figure. And so for that reason, I can't really give them more than 2 crowns, but I am entertained and I want to go back and watch that documentary again and find out more about these competitors.
Yeah, I hear that.
2 crowns, Russell.
Where did you find this?
Okay, so I almost asked you this before, but any idea on how many likes Russell's review has? I found it on Reddit.
I imagine it has a lot, like 2,400.
Not that many. 336 people found this helpful.
Love it.
Great.
Good old Reddit.
Good old Reddit. Good old Russell. Well, thanks, Russell, for that
funny review. Thank you,
funny
Chelsey.
review. Appreciate you supplying that for us.